Hello, Deaf Killer.
There we go. Hopefully you could hear her.
Oh,
And
look at the
hello,
haircut.
everybody. Hopefully this is working. They changed Google Hangouts recently, so I hope it all works out.
Looks great.
Yay! So here, right now, I'm still waiting on Tony. He's en route, I believe, so he's not here
Yeah, he's
yet.
on his way home.
So we have with me Kat, Robert, and Shane. And like I said, soon Tony. So
King Julian.
Huh?
I said King Julian.
Oh, and King Julian, yes. With Robert, you can't
likes
see
to move
him,
it, move it.
but
Yes.
he's there. You can see
like
him on Twitch though. So tonight we were talking about mine keeps popping out of my face.
Deft Killer says, "Oh man, that beard, so awesome."
Yes.
It's definitely more powerful than the last time
Oh,
I
and
saw
Linda.
it.
Oops. How do I invite more people?
It's more powerful because I've been working all day, sitting like this.
If
Oh,
you
here we
mouse
go.
over the image,
I have to do Linda again because I guess hers timed out. Anyway, so hello everyone out there. Tonight we are talking about point-and-click adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
And just a generic topic. We will just be talking about anything and everything involving point-and-click adventure.
This is true.
I'm going to say one of the best ones ever made probably is The Curse of Monkey Island.
Yes.
I have heard
That's
such
a fun
things.
one. I've played a little bit of it. I've seen some of it, and then I know Robert has played it as well.
A little bit. Not nearly as much as I probably should have played.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a sucker for LucasArts films back when there was a LucasArts. Disney!
Well, I'm sure someone else would probably pick it up if people really wanted it.
Well, here's my thought, right? When I first heard that Disney acquired all that stuff, my initial thought was, Disney, what are you doing? But has LucasArts actually done anything good for a while? You know, like how much damage can Disney actually do that they haven't already done? You know, in a lot of ways, I almost feel like it's possible Disney might give them the resources, and not necessarily the resources because they already had plenty of resources, but they may actually give them, breath of fresh air that might actually make them create some other quality products again. I mean, they could totally run into the ground. It could be garbage, but I mean, again, how much worse could it be? Cat.
Well, to be fair, the most recent Monkey Island games were made by Telltale Games and not LucasArts at all.
That's true.
And mostly the usual, I'm probably going to get blamed for this, but for the most part, the only games I've seen come out of LucasArts lately are Star Wars related. Mm-hmm. I just want to return to those old point and clicks. I grew up with them, like Full Throttle, Day of the Tentacle, the Monkey Island. Anything else I played that was also Sam and Max Freelance Police. I loved those all those games. I just played them all.
Very cool.
All point and clicks, all LucasArts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Julian is your guy?
No. I'm still trying to reach him.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're all right.
Thanks.
So, yeah, there you go.
Well, I guess we can all talk about the different ones we've played, but maybe want to start out with some general questions of what do you think about the genre itself versus, like first person or other types of adventure games or anything like that. Anything that has a different mechanic than the way that a point-and-click works.
Thinking, that's the mechanic. In point-and-clicks, you're encouraged to think and be clever. In first-person shooters, it's kind of more just agile and who's got the quicker draw. Not that I'm not saying that there isn't any, thought process in it or cleverness, but I'm just saying that, with a point-and-click, you have to kind of you have to solve puzzles.
Yeah. Although, one of my, I don't want to say, well, one of my gripes about point-and-click is I feel like there's only so much you can point and click at, so it's a lot of just trial and error until you get it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played a lot of point and clicks, so it's not like I'm well versed enough to know that, which ones are good and which ones are really bad. But it was one of those things where my like the puzzles definitely, like the puzzles certainly add the skill to it, right? But the actual adventure part, I feel is kind of lacking, at least for me, only because it's like, oh, let's go look over here. All right, that's not the right path. Let's go look over here. All right, that's not the right path. And you go until you find the right path, and you end up going back, because you have, there's always some kind of progression.
Oh,
But
very
I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where the adventure part feels like it's lacking to me because you can only point and click at so many things.
And you can get stuck too if you can't figure it out.
Yeah, and the stuck part is interesting because, like, for me right now, like my current mindset and lifestyle, like I don't have the patience to get stuck. There was a point. Yeah, and there was a point in time where, like, dying repeatedly and getting stuck was one of those things where it was like, you know what, this was part of the drive. But nowadays, I have a lot less patience to getting stuck. I don't know if it's personality or just lifestyle. The beard spoke. What was it?
I said it's part of the headache.
Yeah, but some people really like that because it is part of the puzzle, of getting stuck and going, okay, well, why am I stuck? What do I have to do differently? Where do I need to go back to? But it's certainly a certain flavor.
Tony just popped in and then he popped out. I don't know what happened.
He saw the beard and got scared.
How many beard jokes are we gonna make? We should have like a tally on the side right there.
I feel left out. I feel like I.
Yeah, your haircut's
about lady beards, but you always got an aversion to it.
Yeah.
I mean, getting your hair cut is cool and all, but nothing beats just a beard, just a nice big beard.
My God, you got some serious length on that.
I can't
beard.
even do the fake one anymore. I don't have anything.
Well, you should save. Why don't you save some hair to tie it around and just be like?
I know. I could have just I could have glued it and then braided it.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Tony.
We can. Hello.
Okay, cool. It seems
Linda,
a little different
I
than
see
usual.
your icon, but I don't hear you. She just popped out again.
Is this like a lot weirder than before?
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
It's a little different format.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
format
what?
of the Hangout's different.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi.
We're talking about that bigness of beards, not about point and click.
Yeah, I know.
All right, then, how about this? Okay, how about the art in point and clicks? One thing I like about that is that, usually they have very interesting environments that, well, at least in the point and clicks ones I had, they were all illustrated with pixels instead of and just, it was like 8-bit, 16-bit art.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the first point and click game I played, I'm pretty sure this qualifies as a point and click, is Myst.
Yeah.
I think that I don't want to say that was the original, but I'm sure that was one of the original that really kind of established the genre, because that was a very popular game at one point, and I remember that game also really marketed its visual qualities, because they weren't real-time 3D renders, but they were all 3D. It was all 3D stuff that had been, built out, and it made this world look just absolutely beautiful. And they could get away with it because it was point and click. You didn't have a lot of extra processes running all at the same time, so you could have this really beautiful world. So in a lot of ways, the point and click adventure kind of allows you to get more not just creative, but also gives you a little more opportunity with that visual style. And I agree with Kat. I think they do certainly have a special quality and allure to them because, they don't have so many other processing limitations.
Like the Seventh Guest?
Hmm?
Like the Seventh Guest? You ever play that one?
I haven't, but I've been hearing about it. Oh,
That's
I
a
hear
good
Linda.
one.
Oh,
I could
Linda
never
made
win
it.
it. I was too little.
Oh, I thought that was a
Did
new
you
game.
guys- You guys
No, it's really old.
I played the
I
original.
can
That's
kind
how
of
old
hear
I
you,
am.
Linda. Not really, though.
Oh. Here, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you.
Bringing home games I
Oh.
probably shouldn't have been allowed to play.
Shane has a question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a scary
Okay.
game.
So this is going to be towards everyone. Which is your very first favorite point-and-click game, and why? And I'll start it off. Mine was Stone Keep, and the reason why I liked it is because my dad would play it, and I would sit in a chair next to him and watch him play it. And then when I got grounded for doing something bad, I would just sit in the hallway and listen to him play. And he would try to say, "You can't do that." And I said, "You said I can't watch you play. You never said I couldn't listen to you play."
That's
And-
awesome.
Wow.
It was looking at it now and looking at the screenshots, I remember like that game was really awesome. I mean, it was made in '95, but it makes me. I think I might want to buy it right now. It's only $6.
That's funny.
But don't do it. The nostalgia factor will disappear, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, this is so crappy."
Oh yeah.
I had this game. I guess it's a point-and-click adventure, I suppose, but it was like almost more storybook kind of. I think it was a point-and-click, but it was like this Sherlock Holmes kind of game, and it was on my very first computer, Macintosh Performa 550, and it was like the graphics weren't really that great, but I just remember it was fun because it was fun like solving the mystery and deciding like how you were gonna solve it. I don't remember what it was called though.
Was it
I
a
wonder-
Unified Detective Agency?
It might have been.
Was it actually Sherlock Holmes? Because I wonder if that's the game
I don't
series
know
that
if
Dodger
it was
played.
actually Sherlock Holmes, but it had that feel to it. But I was like 9, and I don't really remember what the name was, but I remember that was like the first one I played, and I loved it. I loved that whole mystery thing, and just like clicking around, looking and like look in the drawer and look under here and look under here for like the clues and stuff like that. It really was for kids though, for sure. If I went back and I played it now, I'd just be like, wow, this is so easy. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it. And I liked it because I wasn't very good at games. It was actually something that I could play and I could actually be good at. So that's kind of how it is now, too, a little bit with point and click. I'm like, I can play this, and I'm good at it, sort of. So
Yeah.
it was fun
First,
thinking, you know.
the first point-and-click adventure I actually played was Myst. Or was it Riven? I think it might have been Riven. Yeah, because I remember it came in like some super like 8 CD box set thing. Super big, and it was all the visuals. That's all those discs were the visuals. And it was like it was actually I had no right playing that game because my brain just couldn't handle some of those puzzles. Like it was serious puzzles, but I really enjoyed it, and it kind of blew my mind that there was no action, no combat, nothing that was like super time sensitive except for maybe some of the puzzles. It was just a really weird concept for me, and because it was very moody and you're kind of wandering around, it's quiet and you just hear some ambient sounds, and whenever you touch things it makes little sounds. I don't know, it was very weird. I never actually finished the game, but it was one of those things that it really kind of showed me another side of gaming that I had not seen before, so that was pretty spectacular. I'll walk you to the door. I'll be right back, guys. Keep talking.
The first point and click I ever played, I should never have been allowed to play. It was Larry Laffer Looking for Love because my dad had it on his computer. It wasn't for my age. It was a mature game, and I shouldn't have been playing it. But my favorite point and click I ever played, the first one I played that was meant for children, was Mixed Up Fairy Tales, and I liked it.
Cool.
Basically, you played a generic character of your choice depending on your hairstyle and ethnicity. You click on whatever character to choose, and then you go through fairy tale worlds, fixing fairy tales because they're all mixed up. That's it.
What was it called? Mixed Up Fairy Tale?
Yeah, mixed up fairy tales.
Okay.
I was wondering, did we consider Baldur's Gate type games point and click?
Please. Please.
Which
one is that one?
They're kind of different. Like Baldur's Gate, sort of, I guess isometric is the term, like top down.
Oh yeah, I saw a
games
video
where-
for that.
It is
Yeah, I don't know if this counts.
I think I said like if it's point and click action adventure, yes.
Let's see.
I would say, yeah.
Because it's kind of like a hybrid between. It's basically Diablo before Diablo came out.
Yeah.
I don't think you could hotkey it. I think you had to like click, and then there was some strategy. Like unlike Baldur's Gate, where you would just nuke someone down, Diablo. Baldur's Gate actually took some strategy. Like I wanted to say that, but then Sonya was like, I don't know. I was like,
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
The offer was a text-based game.
Yeah, I kind of personally think that they're probably not point and click so much. So.
Yeah, but you had to move around that map. You had to point and click.
Yeah.
There was no arrow keys.
Wait, was it a text-based game?
No, it was a
no.
third-person view, and you controlled 1 to 6 heroes, and then your party can change except you as the main character, and you would basically click where you want to go, and then when you got involved in the fight, you could pause the game and then click on your guys and tell them what moves you want to do. Then they would execute it, and you would just constantly pause in and out of the fight sequence.
Sounds kind of more like Final Fantasy.
But there was no arrow keys to navigate. It was all mouse generated.
Yeah. Think of it similar to like Diablo. Definitely more strategy and not as easy to kill all those things, but it's similar to Diablo. So.
Did you play Neverwinter Nights?
Yeah. Yeah, I played
Alright,
that.
I can dig on that.
Yeah.
I vote that they're point and click. I'm voting for yes.
Okay, well then I will say yes.
Okay, I guess.
Don't argue with the beard. You might swallow me up.
I guess I'll mention
Well, I guess that adds
one
probably
of
the
those
more to
games.
my list too. Then. Well, I don't know if it was only clicking though. I'm trying to think of a game that I played that was only clicking and not really like keys or anything like that. Although, like Telltale games, you click on things, but then you also will use like certain action keys, like W, or like what was it, Q and E. So it's not all completely clicking necessarily. So I guess.
What defines point and click? Is it just the pointing and clicking, or just that you need, or is it just like using the keys to point in a direction and select something?
I think it's point and click to you click on things, but I also think at least lately, it's you're pointing your storyline in a certain direction too. So I think that's part of the aspect of it. I don't know though.
I think, because I remember at some point people were talking about, like, is Diablo point and click? Well, if Diablo is a point and click, then so is, Warcraft or StarCraft, because you're basically pointing. It's what?
It says, I said it was adding and sanitarium.
Yeah, things like that, and it's kind of like, I think, I would say that Diablo is not a point and click purely because that would mean that StarCraft and Warcraft and other RTSs are also point and click adventures. I think more importantly, what really defines it is that it's not. I don't know, because even if you look at like The Walking Dead, right? I see Linda.
I'm on the computer now, so.
There you go.
Yeah. Linda, tell us what is the definition of a point and click adventure?
Yeah.
Put her on the spot.
On the spot, now that you're here.
Oh, I don't know the definition, but they're usually games that require problem solving and exploration. Oh, what did Tim Schafer say in his talk? It was basically that.
Yeah.
Exploration and, yeah, problem solving.
Yeah, they probably usually don't have a lot of combat in them.
By
Well, and
definition, allowing the activation of commands by moving the cursor over certain areas or icons and clicking a pointing device.
Yeah.
That is like by definition.
I guess that's a lot of things then, because you could.
The internet's a point and click the game then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
And I
the
think there's
internet.
a lot of
Let's
blurred
talk about-
lines.
that is my favorite.
I think
Yeah,
when describing genres, there's just a lot of blurred lines, and it's one of those things that you just have to like take those genres with a grain of salt. Because I was gonna say the same thing, like, oh well, it's not really combat oriented, but then I thought, well, Walking Dead is categorized as a point and click, and you're fighting off zombies
You're
left and
killing
right.
zombies,
You know?
and you're getting shot at, and you're doing lots of things. So yeah, it's definitely combat. It's not.
That kind
It's
of
not so much like has a combat mechanic really. I mean, it kind of does, but yeah, but you definitely get into combat.
I think the problem is that our definition of point and click has changed as technology has advanced, that computers can do more things than what we grew up with.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Well, it's weird recently because I only recently realized based on something I read, like, oh, The Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead 2, it's like those are totally point-click adventures. Why did I not realize that? And I've played like dozens, or at least watched when I was a kid, but they're all different. It's just weird.
I could say it's an
Like,
extreme.
what's that?
It's because it's like an extreme choose-your-own-adventure.
Yeah, I mean, I've played
Definitely
a lot of
extreme.
the ones. Yeah, a lot of the ones I saw or played growing up, like the Lucasfilm games one, where like, they'd always have like the commands you'd click and you'd make little strings of, things to have the character do, or like in the really ancient King's Quest games, you'd have to type in manually your commands, and the game would usually say something funny to you if you did something ridiculous. But and then there were other games like, I don't know, have you guys heard of Heart of China?
No.
No.
I guess that's a no. So that's a game that actually scared the shit out of me as a kid, but it's really good. It's one of those games that's like, it doesn't say like, it doesn't have a HUD or anything, it just has a visual and you just go around and click things and you can totally die, and it's one of those many games that gives a very gruesome description of how you died when you do.
Oh, no.
Nice.
I want
That
to play
scared me as a
that.
kid.
Nice box art.
I wonder if that's on, that was on our Amiga. I wonder if that's on Steam or something, because it's really interesting. But anyway.
Yeah, I thought I had the old game. That one was 91. Beat me by 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my favorite games are like really old, because I have like 5 older siblings, so I just watched. I was too young to play. But so did we already get through everybody with the favorite game thing?
Yes. It was yeah, your favorite, your first favorite. So
Yeah, when you
what
were
was your
little,
first
like-
favorite
So
when you were little?
what's that?
When you were
When you
little.
were little. Mine was when I was 9.
Okay.
So
So it wasn't my first, but my favorite one to this day is King's Quest III: Perils of Rosella. I don't know if any of you guys have played that one, but it was okay. It was, I think it was one of the first King's Quest games to have a girl as the protagonist, but I don't know why it's my favorite. I think I just like the storyline. Have any of you guys played the King's Quest games?
I think
no, I haven't.
Well,
Jesus.
show me. Does anyone have a picture of the logo? I can tell it by the logo.
It's the one. The cover art shows her riding on a unicorn with spots, and there's like these flying demon guys chasing her with thunder in the background.
I should have
Little
played that.
epic.
That sounds awesome. I want to play it now.
I have the King's Quest collection. I could let you borrow. It's on a disc, but anyway, I mean, all the King's Quest games were nice because they followed like the same family tree. Like the very first game is like the the father. The second game is he finds his wife. They get married. The third game is his daughter, and then they keep going from there. But it's pretty cool. So
I like how most of the box covers have like evil people on it with like their hands up and they're like zapping a crystal ball or a little funnel of doom or something. Very corny.
a lot of the old cover art is really tacky.
Back in the days when seeing pixelated waterfalls was amazingly breathtaking to me.
Okay, so I wanted to ask the stream what their first point-and-click adventure was. So, anyone who's there, please answer. Otherwise, we'll continue to talk. Actually, keep talking until they answer.
Holy Jesus.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys then.
Oh, ask us.
All right. So now that we've kind of all established where we are in our P&Cs, out of all the P&Cs, well, I guess we're just going to broaden the horizon. As long as the dominance of your playing is mouse interaction, like we'll say 80% mouse and 20% keyboard kind of P&C, does any of you guys have a favorite like soundtrack to your from all your P&Cs? That you're just like, oh man, that was like that song at that point in the game just made me like, it was perfect.
I couldn't I haven't played enough for any of them to really impact.
Monkey Island had some fun music.
Yeah, I
don't remember what track though.
You can download them all.
Some
of the discs could actually play the music off of them, like with Sam and Max Freelance Police. You could.
Well,
I just found the soundtrack to Stone Keep again on YouTube, and I'm just listening to it. I'm just like, oh my god, it just brings back all the memories of that game.
What were you gonna say, Tony?
Oh well, I'm not sure if the game that I want to mention. It's kind of like Baldur's Gate, but Planescape Torment is. I just love the soundtrack for that game. It's one of my favorite games.
I need to play that one. It's on my
yeah,
list.
you need to. You need to.
When I started to play sorry. When I started to play The Wolf Among Us, that song was fun.
I want to play that.
Oh, that music's good. Yeah. A lot of the music I liked is like nostalgic, because when I listen to it now, it's really ghetto, or it's like they don't even have the Amiga version of the music, so it's like the DOS version, which has like it doesn't have all the layers that the Amiga could handle with the soundtracks. So anyway, but
I clicked on that link.
Listen to it later.
But no one's played Pros Rosella, so.
Of what?
Oh, I said
was
nobody's played Pros Rosella, so I can't name my thing. What?
You can still say what your favorite is.
Actually, well, a more funny thing. Well, I was gonna say there's a certain part of the game my sisters and I always loved where you basically run into the 7 dwarves and they're at work, but if you find their cottage, you can notice how dirty. If you look around, she'll be commenting how dirty it is, and if you tell her to clean house, it basically goes into this huge cutscene where she like walks between the rooms and sweeps and does the dishes, and it just plays this song the whole time, and you're basically just waiting for the game to load. But that part's always really cute. But what's I gonna say? They're actually, I really want to post it, but this computer is so slow I can't pull it up. There's actually a really funny video that someone compiled with Pearls of Roselle. They literally went around the game kissing everything. Like they typed in the command kiss someone, kiss prince, kiss dwarf, and then like the game will have all these funny responses where it's like, no, you don't want to kiss that, or why would you want to do such a thing, or I don't think you appreciate that.
You know what? When you mentioned
The text-based game.
when you mentioned something about dwarves, I instantly had this like flashback to 2 games that I believe are point and click. I honestly can't totally remember that I had played on like the school Macintosh, right? One of them, you were like a some kind of you could have been like an Eskimo or an ice climber of some sort, right? And you had to like work your way up this mountain, and as you went up the mountain, you were basically kind of pointing and clicking, but you'd pick up things like snowball or a stick or a sled and stuff like that, and when you would encounter things, you would have to use those items to basically get past it. But it was kind of like if you use the wrong item, you get knocked off the mountain, you have to start all over, which was pretty sucky. But the thing you mentioned about the dwarves, I remember for some reason something where there were dwarves, and you collected like gems or something. I don't know. It's like this really small thought, little like memory that I can't quite put my finger on. Oh, it's gonna kill me thinking about it. I'm just gonna have to like look at list of all Mac games in the early '90s.
You got Max. I just got an EduQuest at my school.
Yeah, we had Max.
I don't even know what that is.
An EduQuest. It's basically I don't know what it is.
Is that one of those like kind of toy-esque computers?
I don't know. It's just all I did was shoot animals in Oregon Trail on it.
Oh, Oregon Trail. Does that count? Because I remember
Yeah,
that
does that
one.
count?
Oregon Trail's a point and click.
Yeah, because I mean, you decide like, are you going to go this way, you know, and have a longer winter? Or are you gonna try the river? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Fail.
Spoiler: everyone dies in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Everyone gets dysentery.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate it when they're. Wait, that doesn't count as a point-click adventure.
No, it doesn't.
But it was a game we played as children. I don't know, it doesn't count really.
Yeah, well,
guess.
Living Laughter Looking for Love was a game I played as a child, and well, I'm realizing that wasn't point and click, that was text-based, and I should have been playing.
What about Snoopy to the Rescue? Anyone play that?
What?
Snoopy
No.
to the Rescue.
I have to find it.
No.
Is that a point and click?
It wasn't like point. No, it wasn't.
All the ones we think is point and click probably didn't actually need the mouse to work. We're getting too far back into the 80s and 90s, guys. We gotta move a little forward.
I know, yeah, I was thinking about a lot more games like that. That kind of a mystery game I played that were just more. It was really like a lot of like pictures, and then you would click on certain things, and it wasn't really. There was no animations. I did a lot of those, but I don't remember what they were called. But they were all like on Mac, and they were all like little kiddie games. But I liked them.
Was
Like
it
the Mammy.
Mammy.
Was it
There
this
was like a
game?
Mammy arcade thing for the Mammy.
Mammy.
Sonia, was it this game?
Let me see. Maybe.
Because that's the only thing I can think of that, other than
Oh!
that, I had the British version growing
Yeah,
up.
I think so. Actually, yes.
I never could win it. I was a dense kid.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I
I played
beat it,
this
though,
game.
but I just remember it was fun.
Nikolai Mysteries. I totally played that game.
Nope.
Actually, I have to ask, has anybody here played Orpheo's Curse? It was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Probably so.
Oh.
This is the one version I played as a kid, so this is the only reason why I could think you could think Sherlock Holmes.
Referral denied. What?
Man, Eagle Eye Mysteries. This game was fun.
I can't get to it.
No, let me try again.
It was like point click for kids, I guess.
Now, see, while you may not have had a Mac at your school, we didn't have a computer in our household till I was like in my teens, late teens, you know, and it's not late teens, but like, you know, probably, yeah, like until around like 12, 13, we didn't have a computer. So I think I kind of missed out on a lot of these games because we just didn't really have those games, you know. Also, I guess I was playing the Genesis a lot more too.
Sega.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that,
true.
That was the sound that always made me excited to play games. Anytime I heard Sega,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh my god.
Uh-oh. Heart of China.
China.
But
No,
I was just
there
linking
were games that were like that. I remember playing, where it was like you just have 3 things you can say, and it
Heart
was
of
all
China
just
scared the
pictures.
shit out of me,
Oh
honestly.
wow, number 3. That's me.
Heart of China was serious business. It was like really gritty. And
Oh my
serious.
god.
And how old were you?
So you played that as a kid, Linda?
Oh
Wow.
my god.
I
I
hope,
watched
I
that
hope,
game. It scared me too much.
I hope Ho
Oh, here,
is
this
her last
part.
name.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
That sounds like an
Wait,
episode
what's going
of
on?
TV.
Look at
Just look at the 3rd dialogue option in your screenshot.
It's like, do you know who he
Oh,
is? Maybe a
The
little
names
something to
were
jog your mind.
games.
Look, Ho, I don't have time for this screw
no,
around.
this was a mature game. Like the part with the this screenshot I just posted with the cobra. I mean, you had to like. I think you had to shoot the cobra's head off with a gun, and if you didn't, it would bite you and you'd die.
Oh my
Like-
god!
That sounds appropriate.
Standing there while these cobras
No,
are trying to bite you?
There were lots of games where it was just basically instant death.
Or, I think the actually here's a funny scenario from that game that I remember from being a kid. So like there's a part in it when I think you're trying to get to that part with the cobras. You're trying to save a girl, of course, but you reach the kitchens and there's a dog in the kitchen that'll growl at you if you get too close.
Shoot
So
it.
you like look around. You know, if you get too close, it'll show this close up of him like with his teeth coming to get you, and it gives this long description of how he crushes your windpipe and blah blah, and you die, obviously.
Hmm.
Which as a kid, I'm like, oh, it's scary. So what you have to do is you have to grab some wine nearby, and you pour it in the dog's bowl, and the dog goes and drinks it. And then he looks at you and kind of,
that.
I know, and then the dog like starts panting. He's all happy, and then he like lays down and goes to sleep and assumedly dies or something because of alcohol. But it's really weird.
That's strategery.
Anyway, yeah, not a kid game. It's really scary.
Yeah, doesn't sound like
That
it.
were in our houses weren't for kids because our parents bought them to play, and we were just kind of, when they weren't on the computer.
We were just there.
Well, that's the thing. My older siblings played these games, so.
I got a lot of like.
Another really. Huh?
I got a lot of kiddie games when I was a kid for like the really cheap like stuff you could buy for your computer. It's like old, stuff.
Couple of
you
Disney
get
ones.
you get like the 6 games in one pack. It costs
Mhm.
$5,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, score! But they're
Yeah.
all just like absolute garbage.
They're not meant. That's the thing. I played a lot of stuff that was like the China, Heart of China, but they weren't very good. It's just- I don't remember them, but I remember playing them.
Like, I
You
love
have to
it.
play them now, and you'll get a lot of the things that didn't make sense before. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what that means. I guess
Uh-huh.
she's
Now you
Santa
know
or
that Ho
something.
isn't her last name.
Right.
Do you guys remember like the days before the internet, and it was like you were like, oh, thank God, a hint book comes with it.
Right.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
comes with that little. It would come with the little thing with the little red window. So if you didn't want spoilers, you'd go to the back and you'd like use the little card thing on top of it to be able to see the areas that were like hidden.
Yeah,
Did I remember that?
I remember stuff like that was also.
They had that
in,
with
like,
some games. They had that with
if you had
Girls
like a
Wars,
little
but-
magazine that you would do like puzzles and stuff, they'd put stuff in there like that too, or it was like a hidden, like here's the answers. I don't know. Remember that.
I have a question.
Mm.
Has anybody played any of the old LucasArts point-click or Lucasfilm games? I guess maybe way back in the day.
That's what we were discussing before you got here. We're talking about
Oh.
Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, Sam and Max Freelance Police. Am I missing any?
Are those all LucasArts?
Yeah, they were all LucasArts games, and so my dad's exclusively, it seems, for the majority of the 90s, just bought LucasArts games with the exception of The Seventh Guest, which I think I sat on and broke once.
Yeah, the Monkey Island ones. Those are really the only ones that I remember.
No. Yeah, I watched my sister play Seventh Guest. That's a really good game. Anyway, but yeah. Well, there were. Have you ever played Loom? That's another LucasArts. That's like a really old one, but that's like a classic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, send me a thing. I might have
Daily.
actually.
Yeah.
I like
I
David.
actually bought it on Steam, but I haven't played it yet.
Right.
But
I feel
another
like
one of
buying all these games. They're probably like $2 each.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever played Day of the Tentacle?
I've only
Not
played
me.
Maniac Mansion.
Oh yeah, that was actually it was an
Oh,
add-on.
that sounds familiar too.
Yeah, it was kind of inside the game. You could also get it, and I never won it because I'd always get all my characters killed and the mansion blow up. But yeah, but anyway, it was a really cool game because it involved time travel
Maniac
and you go
Mansion was hard.
and like saving people. Like you're saving, like you had to like stop the tentacles from taking over the world. And the cool part was that you traveled around in a blue outhouse, which nowadays, because I'm a Whovian, I realized, oh, I get it, that was supposed to make fun of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
A little bit green. And it was an outhouse anyway. Porta potty. Time porta potty use.
I have a question. If anyone's played any new stuff, but what is your new favorite point-and-click game? Like in the last
stuff. What a joke. Sorry, what?
10 years.
Question.
Just to be clear, Linda loves animals like a lot, and so and werewolves a lot. So I'm gonna guess Linda's favorite point and click is The Wolf Among Us.
I said new. That was the question. So yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you're cutting out a lot, so I'm not catching what you're saying exactly.
That's okay. I was just teasing you, but I'm assuming The Wolf Among Us is your favorite.
I am very fond of that game. Yes, I haven't played a lot of point click. I didn't even know point click adventures still existed. I forgot. I didn't realize they've evolved.
Yeah.
But I will be playing Broken Age when that comes out. So, but no, I like The Wolf Among Us. Yeah.
I really like The Wolf Among Us too, but because I've been playing Walking Dead, I don't know. I don't know which one I like better.
I need to play that one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was playing it last night and I totally got shot by an arrow just by forgetting what direction I was supposed to be going in. I was like, oh, yay. So, yeah, but The Wolf Among Us, I look forward to the next episode.
I'm going to move into the back. Wow. I had to use her computer, I'm sorry.
I think the most recent one I played was, well, I did play the Strong Bad ones when they came out a couple of years ago. Like, those were okay. I did play the Monkey Island ones when they came out, but I think those are the most recent point-and-clicks I've played.
The Strong Bad games?
Yeah, it was another Telltale game. They released a couple of Strong Bad ones.
Oh my god, I probably played them. Were they on the website?
Well, I would download them onto my my Wii, and then you would play them, and they were a serial. You could download the next one.
Yes, I've played. I don't know if they're the same ones, but I do remember playing basically point-and-click adventure Strong Bad games.
Yeah, on the website they had those too.
I missed that website. I should go back to it.
Did anybody play the Trogdor one? Did anybody play the Trogdor one?
Yes.
It had a terrible ending.
Yeah, you got eaten anyway.
Yeah. You got burninated. Well, I guess you get eaten better if you get like 200 or 100%. Really
oh wait, the one where you are Trogdor or the peasant?
No,
you're a peasant. You're rather
okay.
dashing.
I just
amazing.
burninated
You throw
everyone.
a baby in the lake for some reason.
We were just reminiscing about Trogdor today.
Yeah.
That's how I met Rashawn, actually. No, wait, sorry, that was Teen Girl Squad.
Teen Girl Squad.
Oh gosh.
Road. I think we lost Shane.
We did.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Power of the beard.
For some reason, my connection is really choking with all the video and stuff. I don't know why.
Let me send him a new one. Uh-oh. Please don't tell me I'm gonna crap out on my end.
Maybe
It
not.
seems
Alright, I
fine
won't
right
tell
now. But You keep
Okay, I'm still here.
sending me the invites. Yeah. It's still here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
This
pressing
new
button.
setup that they have is kind of like buggy.
Oh.
Shane is telling me that he had to leave.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Shane, it was a
Alright.
pleasure. The beard has left the building.
Aw.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
we're still
Well, we've still got
He
Petey.
left us. He left
Yeah.
us.
don't need us. Relax. We're safe from the beard for now.
Okay,
Yes.
alright. No, I'm just saying. No, just kidding. I'm not.
I'm cutting,
Yeah, I
I'm
like
cutting
how,
out my video because it's really chugging.
Okay.
I liked how Strong Bad used to revisit the old formats and make games that were likely what we grew up with.
Hmm.
Fun.
Yeah, I can say that before Telltale Games, maybe Strong Bad games were point and click were my favorite because of the humor, really.
HomestarRunner.com, that's what it was, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Science again.
Science, I say. That's where that came from. I forgot where it came from.
Oh gosh. Memories.
Wow.
So
Corners of my... Oh, God.
so I guess what kind of point and click adventure are your favorites? Like, do you like the story driven ones? Do you like the action driven ones? Things like that.
Yes.
Yes, all of them. Yes.
I like story myself.
I think that's what the kind of the epitome of point and click is, the plot. It seems like that's what they really emphasize by sacrificing a lot of the action. Not to say that action doesn't exist, but I mean, is there a point and click adventure that doesn't have a plot?
They were trying to basically
Probably
make
not.
what we have nowadays, we take for granted, like in GTA 5, this whole immersive world with limited technology. That's what the point and click was.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy the kinds of, well, especially with Telltale, the kinds of games where it's like you can have so many different outcomes, and you can it has the replay value is great on it too, because you can just be like, I'm gonna just decide to do this instead of that, and it can totally change your story, and I think that's really cool.
I'm gonna be an
That
asshole
there's
now.
so much flexibility in that area. Why?
Okay.
Oh.
That was random.
No, you meant like, as in, okay, in the game. Sorry. I
Okay.
thought you were like talking to in general. I misunderstood that one.
Me too.
Maybe just a bit.
Okay, so
So, anyone have any other questions?
Yeah.
It's been kind of more.
I feel like there should be.
This, but yeah.
Okay, here's a
maybe-
question.
How about? Okay, go ahead.
Because I don't play many point and click games, and I don't really feel like taking a risk on buying one or getting one. What point and click games would you recommend to me? If I had to play one and I was worried about what game to play, which one would you guys recommend to me?
Well, I already have The Walking Dead, but if you
Um,
want to play mine, then I would say that is a good one.
Are we talking modern or are we talking any?
I guess any.
Because I
Maybe
own the
finish-
King's Quest collection, and that's like a classic.
But do you think it stands up to today's expectations? Like, would I be able to play it now and be like, oh wow, this is a great game, or would I not be able to appreciate it?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the person, but there is. I mean, there's the last King's Quest one sucks, I think, but there's one that came out in maybe '98 or something that had like voiceovers and cute animations and stuff. It was much more high budget, that one would probably be okay for a modern audience.
Mhm.
But the older ones, yeah, I mean, it's interesting it's evolved, which I guess is actually a different topic completely. Because it seemed like, at least within the King's Quest genre, I think it started that you would type out what you wanted to do, and later it became... I can't remember. I swear that it changed from you would type out what you wanted to do to you would just click on certain commands. Yeah, that's right. In like 5, which was made in the 90s, like you would instead have buttons that said, look at, touch, use, whatever.
Mm.
But I don't know, it's just an interesting side thing. But I guess it's just, it's evolved in general, like we've already talked about, so. But yeah, some of those are pretty good to play if you haven't.
Is the stream still
If
there?
graphics don't bother you.
The stream's still there.
I mean, like the people in the chat. Ask them, what do they think? What do they think is a good, if they've played any?
So far, the only response I got was that I don't play point and clicks. I've only played first-person shooters.
Oh, okay.
If I had to recommend a point-and-click adventure for you to play, Robert, it would either be The Curse of Monkey Island or Sanitarium.
That's good.
Ooh, Sanitarium.
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
I could
Curse
bring
of
it.
Monkey Island's good
I still have it. I could bring it along with me when I come visit.
Ooh.
Yeah, give it a try. We can check it out.
It's a fun game. You basically, obviously, you're in a sanitarium and you have amnesia and you're trying to figure out who you are.
Cool.
While going through a trippy world that you don't know whether it's real or if it's in your head.
Oh,
Nice. I like
Is
that.
it kind of like Myst?
Well, no, it's not like
Is that one
Myst.
kind of
It's
like Myst?
I don't think it's like Myst.
Oh.
I haven't. It's like how would I describe it? It's like just like, well, for one thing, it's that you see the character you're playing the whole time, and you can interact with other people you talk to, and you have to go through certain areas and defeat villains in sort of in a point and click kind of fashion. But I think there's also some keys involved. Been a while, but it's a really good game. I enjoyed it. My mom actually bought it for me. Surprisingly, I was so excited that day.
Would you consider Black and White a point and click?
I never played it.
No.
It's that
No.
you're like a
That's like an
god.
RT.
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of. That one's good.
Yeah.
That
That's
one's
a
I like to throw
crap,
people.
I forget what you call that one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's mostly clicking though. Like,
That
you
would
don't
fall in
really
the same
do anything
genre as like
else.
popular.
That is true.
Yeah, Dirk, we were talking about that earlier, whether or not Diablo games are point and click. It's kind of in the gray area, but we figured if Diablo was point and click, then so would World of Warcraft and StarCraft, and I don't think any of us would really consider those point and clicks.
What?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, even though functionally it is kind of you point and click, it's not quite the category we're talking about. But that's also kind of like we said, the gray area.
Point and clicks generally are, there are no RPG elements, you don't develop like, stats or anything, and you usually collect items that you then have one specific purpose in the story or to solve a puzzle. Whereas in Diablo, it's like you can just pick up random items and they don't necessarily have any specific purpose. So, and that's more of an adventure game, or it's more of a action adventure. I forget what it's called actually, but
Yeah.
yeah, point-click adventures are usually like they're based around problem solving or plot or, just exploration, which is something that I think more games based around exploration need to exist because they're too few and far between. Sierra made a lot of good games back in the day.
Yes. Mixed Up Fairy Tales is a Sierra game.
Let me see.
I'm waiting for it to load.
This.
I wanted to bring up something regarding Secret of Monkey Island. I don't know if you guys have ever read any of the theories behind what the game was really about. Because, I don't know, did they ever finish the story, the series?
Well, Telltale's told the latest one, which was Tales of Monkey Island, but the game last before that was Escape from Monkey Island, which was kind of subpar.
Because I actually heard that one of the fan rumors as to what the game is actually about is about a kid who actually gets lost in a theme park.
Oh, I think that's Return to Monkey Island. That game, what happens is in the end, it seems that LeChuck is your brother or something like that, and it has a kind of a Star Wars theme to it. And then Curse of Monkey Island seems to have completely eliminated that altogether by saying that that was like an illusion that Guybrush was trapped in, and now he's gotten out of it.
Interesting. Yeah, because they were just, maybe it was just the article, but they were really kind of building it up a Lost style. Where I guess there's one point in the game where you enter a room that's got like computer screens and stuff like that, which is totally like outside the actual game world.
You need to throw your logic out the window with Monkey Island games. They like it's Caribbean times, and you're going to a Carnival of the Dead. I mean, sorry. Well, no, it isn't Carnival of the Dead. It's the Amusement Park of the Damned, or what was it? Or Carnival of the Damned. That's what it was. And it's LeChuck's Island, and it has like all these like roller coaster rides and park rides that they obviously wouldn't have had in the Caribbean. So just forget. It's like it's in a time that matters not.
Yeah, I get you. Which is why it makes sense that it would actually be in a kid's imagination and a theme park. I'm just saying that would be a really cool plot twist. Apparently not.
I need to get back and play those again and remember kind of all that stuff, because those were really, I liked the artwork in those. And the music.
Yeah, I used to play it on loop.
Has anyone played the point-and-click adventure? It's called like Robota, or I don't know, you're like a robot and the whole world's like, it's like a robot city and everything's a robot and it's point and click. Hold on, I'm gonna find out. It's on Steam.
I like robots, it sounds good, but no, I've never played it.
Whoa, what the crap?
I think I wanted to ask a question, like, what do you think the main, I guess it's kind of almost the same stuff we've been talking about. What do you think the main appeal of this whole genre is? I know it's kind of more the same.
It was the closest you can get to what we have now.
Well, I mean, I guess.
What's that?
Well, I personally think the story is probably the main part, like we've said, but there's also puzzles that a lot of people like to try to figure out and solve that appeal to people. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
actually, sorry.
That's okay. I was going to say Dirk
I have
mentions
something
that
to
it
add
does
to that.
Choose your own adventure. Go on. Sorry.
No, it's kind of funny because I went to the Broken Age talk at GDC like 2 weeks ago, and they were actually talking about that. Like the real appeal of point-click adventures is that, it is the problem solving. Well, I mean, people like the story, yeah, but it is the problem solving because the nice thing about it is that usually in a point-click adventure you'll be presented with like a situation that you then have to sit and think like, okay, what am I going to do here? How do I want to get past this? And so there's kind of that appeal of you have time to sort of think out puzzles, and then when you solve them, you feel really like proud of yourself and yay, good job. But no,
gratification.
No, it's like it's like
I cut that guy's like
you're not like being rushed. It depends though on the game, because there are going to be situations where it's like shit, I need to figure something out right now, otherwise I'm going to die. Or
that's Walking Dead all the time. It's like, oh god, oh god, god. Like, hurry, think of something before the zombies come and eat me.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the Wolf Among Us is a little bit more tame in that sense.
The game I was thinking about was called Machinarium. or Machinarium or something like that.
Oh, I think I had that on my wish list.
It's
Yes,
kind of cool.
I did.
It's a point and click. Your little robot.
Yes, yes, I've heard of it. I want to play that game. That's one of the ones I really want to play. It's on
Well,
my
it
wish
looks like
list.
there's a free demo.
Hint, hint, wink, wink. So, yeah.
Precisely.
Yep.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely
with
playing that one.
what Linda was saying, that reminds me of Zelda games. You know, like all the puzzles that you go through, and that is also how you can get stuck and just be totally frustrated because then you can't go forward.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, so satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think
one
it's a
falls
look
into
at
a
strategy guide
slightly
plays
different
for
category, but it's pretty much the same thing.
that. Right. At least with the puzzles and the story.
Wow, Lucasfilm was all about the point and click.
Oh, they had tons. Nobody's heard of this freaking game either, and it upsets me.
The McCracken
I've seen the cover art before.
Zach McCracken.
and the Alien
Yeah,
Mindbenders.
it's a
that
really,
sounds
it's yeah,
Man,
the game.
Manic
I mean,
Mansion
all of
sounds so
Lucasfilm's
familiar.
games, all of Lucasfilm's games were very tongue-in-cheek and kind of comedic. Like especially Zach McCracken. There's all these funny jokes like throughout the whole thing, but like a lot of people don't even know that they had existed because they either didn't see them as kids or they just like fall off the face of the earth. It's just really sad.
I love
And I've
them.
tried to get an emulator. What's that?
I said I loved them growing up. They shaped my humor.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah, and I've tried to get an emulator of this game specifically, and I always only get it in German. It drives me crazy. Like, it's really difficult to find some games.
Fucking Sie Deutsch.
Those Germans and their point-and-click adventures.
Yeah. Speaking of Germans, another really good LucasArts game is Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. It's on Steam, actually,
Never
and I
bought.
own it, but I haven't played it yet.
Wait, so
I know, I have a lot of things like
Germans
that. I have
in
it. I
that
haven't done
game?
it.
What'd you say, Tony?
Oh, there's Germans in that game? The Fate of Atlantis?
There's always Germans in any.
Yeah, of course. Indiana
Yeah.
Jones is all about
Just-
Nazis.
Are they the bad guys, as usual?
Right.
Yes, they're the bad guys.
It's Atlantis.
So much stereotyping. Just kidding. It's funny.
Here's the but yeah, this game is on Steam as well as the other game, which I think is a remake of the movie with Sean Connery as his father.
Oh yeah.
I think they remade it, but
Last
this is the
Crusade?
only one I played. It was really good.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, this game's fantastic.
I will get minus geeky points if I yes, The Last Crusade. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Also, this Indiana Jones game has voiceovers, which is kind of cool, but they're really low fidelity, so like S's sound like TH sounds, and it's hilarious. But anyway, it's pretty appealing, though, I guess. I have to play it again myself, so I'm not just like.
Ooh, the Scum
full of
story
crap.
system. I love Scum.
What is Scum?
It's basically
I
it was
saw
a type-
that in the
It's a
article.
type of system that they use for the point and clicks, where they had It's just the format that is familiar that you think of the second you think of a point and click for Lucas Art games. That's what it is. And they used to bring it up in their games, like the first game had the Scum bar in Monkey Island.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean that's like the buttons and stuff? That's
I think so.
script creation utility for Maniac Mansion. That's what it means. It's a scripting language developed at LucasArts to ease development of the graphical adventure game Maniac Mansion. Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't know it had a name. That's cool. So I guess that's the thing is they stopped. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure, but it seems like probably a lot of like independent games, like on addictinggames.com, they probably still have that on there. And I have played point and click adventures on Addicting Games. They're really cheesy and sometimes really poorly drawn, but I've played them. Like Find Your Way Out of the Closet or something like that, or Find Your Way Out of the Room or something like that.
It's okay. Some people read bad fan fiction. Some people play crappy games when they're bored.
I've played a lot of crappy games.
Actually,
Yeah.
there's an interesting point-and-click puzzle game that I saw that was an independent-made one, and you were like literally in a single room. The entire game was played in a single room, and there was just lots of things in the room. And I think you were trying to find your way out, but it was like you had to do a dozen different things in this room to get out, and it's like you had to find various objects and you had to open things and then they
maybe like
found
letters with like story on it and stuff.
and then like you had to open up these different puzzle boxes which would give you other information, and there was like something behind desks that you'd have to read, and it was like getting out of this room.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's pretty much probably the same stuff that I was playing.
Escape. Oh, interesting. Point-and-click escape games.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
those are interesting. Even though a lot of times they're not the best made, but they're good for like an afternoon of I'm bored, I want to play a lot of things, so I'm going to play these.
Ooh, I have a question. What's the worst point and click you ever played?
Oh.
Probably one of those. One of those independent, like cheap, like where it's like that's a stupid ending. I don't even know. I've played so many of them. Sometimes it's just like, really? But yeah, probably some of those get out of the room ones.
Hold on, I actually don't know. I'm gonna look see if there's
Or
anything
they're so
online.
hard you can't get out of the stupid thing. It's like, why is it so hard?
Yeah. I think point and
I've
clicks
liked most
may
of
have lost some of their appeal because if you run into a puzzle that's really hard, you can just look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
okay,
true. I know. I had to one time when I couldn't figure out what I needed to do first. So I'm like, okay, it's time to find out because I'm just walking in circles. So I've done that before. But I try not to. I really do like to play it legit and try to figure it out because the puzzle is the best part of it.
Right.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just like, oh my god, this is such a time suck. I just want to get done.
Sometimes it just seems impossible, and then when you look it up, you're like, oh, how the heck did they expect us to find that out?
Exactly. How did I know I was supposed to go there, to go there, to go there to find that? It's
How was I supposed to know I was supposed to intoxicate a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any like bad ones I played, but I know that some of the older ones, like because the controls are clunky and there was like a very specific thing you had to do, we would rage so hard, like at certain parts. But that's pretty much the closest thing. Those are all the King's Quest games, of course, because they're super clunky.
Yeah.
Like
I had a few times with some newer games where I'm just like,
there are parts when there's like a monster chasing you. Like I think in the very first. Was that? Is someone talking?
No.
Someone's just typing loudly.
Okay, well, for instance,
that's me.
there's an instance in the first King's Quest where you go into a cottage and of course the wolf is in the bed wearing grandma's like clothes. And sometimes when you go in the house it's grandma, so it'll catch you unawares and the wolf will jump out of the bed and start running towards you, and obviously if he gets to you then you die. But every single time we would press enter and we type kill wolf and it would be like, what? I don't know how to do that.
No.
So like it would make us so angry because we're like, kill him with this freaking item that you have, and of course it'd be like, I can't do that. And then of course, right when the window goes away, he would run into you and you die, and things like that would always make us angry.
Yeah.
But that was a text-based game, not a point and click, right?
Is that well? I mean, I think they evolved though, because some of the later King's Quest had like the scum, it's called, like that kind of setting, but but yeah, the original ones were all text.
Yeah.
When they had the
click things, you could click things. You could click things you clicked around to walk, but you would have to type everything. This is like really old, the like mid '80s or late 80s. But
Oh,
I think they're
it's
still technically the same. I think they're still technically the same genre.
okay. Well, it's 10 after. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Oh, time
Um,
flies.
Yeah, so we are done for the live portion of this broadcast. So thanks everybody for watching here and on the stream on Twitch. Next time we are going to be doing Papers, Please. So, because
Yay!
because Linda, you wanted it, and Shane mentioned it, and I saw it, and it looked kind of interesting. So we were playing Papers, Please. So that will be on. Let me look at my calendar.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change it because doing it right at Christmas Eve or Christmas isn't gonna work.
Okay, so well, the 22nd, would that work? That Sunday? That's not
That might
Christmas
be
Eve.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
before
so Sunday
Christmas,
the
yeah.
22nd, unless it changes for anyone. That's when it will be. Are you good? Are you guys good if you want to? Let me write that.
I think I should be fine.
Okay, yeah, that's right
Good.
before everything starts, so.
I'm not going anywhere.
Coolness.
Kathleen, are you fine with that?
To be honest with you, I am stuck between two ends of this continent, and so I don't know.
Okay.
I won't be bringing my computer with me when I visit my parents.
Okay. So we'll figure it out if when we can do it. For now, I'm just gonna say the 22nd. And it will be Papers, Please. So that will be the next one. So thanks again, everybody. We will be here next month with just a regular game. And if you guys out there want to see any of our games, you can go to unchartedinteractive.com. We have card games and browser games, and soon, hopefully soon, we will be coming out with a app for rebooting Kernips. So look for news on that. And yes,
and,
Robert?
And Tom and Linda's game is available,
yes.
right? So that is Rad Hotel. Check out Rad Hotel. And is that that's available for Android only right now, or is it other platforms as well?
No, it's Google Play and iTunes App
Excellent.
Store.
So yeah, check out Rad Hotel. It's a game that is actually available.
Yeah, that is available now, so go check that out. And as far as I know, that is it for now. So good night, everybody.